Yes, people, welcome back to another show on Thai Sports. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe as well. Hit that notification bell. I am seeing all you new people coming over to the channel and enjoying the content. So thank you. I like to be fair, balanced, and talking a lot of things. And today we're talking about the team I support, Manchester United. As you can see, Anthony Martial is here supporting, as always. I'm forever grateful. And today we are talking about a position that Anthony Martial used to play in. It is the number 9 role. Manchester United need a striker. Who is available? Who do they want? Well, we are going to talk about it because it's been widely reported now that Manchester United are looking to make Ollie Watkins their striker for next season. Whether the deal gets done or not, there is still 4 and a bit weeks to go of the transfer window, but it seems very, very serious now that Manchester United have seen the 29-year-old Watford, 29-year-old Watkins, Aston Villa striker, as their main guy that they want to go to for this summer window. And look, at the end of the day, Manchester United need a striker. Everyone knows it. Everyone has seen it. And we signed the 210s and then Mbumo and Cunha. But you also feel like, are they a bit short in that striker market? We've seen enough of Rasmus Højlund at the football club. Unfortunately, it's not worked out for him and we'd like him to be moved on. And Joshua Zirkzee, who I feel like a player has a lot of backing from the fans, especially since that, harsh, treatment from the Old Trafford faithful, could you call it? And he's bounced back really well. And I think everyone's excited to see what he can do in his second season, especially if he can stay fit, because I think as the season went on, he showed glimpses of what he could do in a United shirt. The only thing with Xerxes is that we know he's not going to be getting 20 goals in the league. He's a very good facilitator, very good striker in terms of bringing others into play and making the team sort of sink and it looks smoother. But sometimes you need goals to win games. And Manchester United last year didn't do that. I think we scored less than 45 league goals as a whole in the Premier League last season, which is one of our lowest ever tallies, if not the lowest. Simply not good enough. Let's be honest, guys. Look, we want to see Manchester United win games. We want to see us win 3, 4, 5 in a row. We want to see us winning 3, 4, 1 sometimes and scoring goals and just being excited. And it's hard to come by. We haven't done that regularly for the last 18 months now. And when we do, it feels like, okay, it's 1 step forward, but then 2 steps back because we won't go and win the next game. So Manchester United need to add goals to the team. And they've done that with Mbumo and Cunha coming in. Over 35 league goals between them last season in sides that aren't better than Manchester United really on paper. So they should add something to our attack. But also, we need that number 9. Manchester United have had proven number 9s over the years, from Robin van Persie, Wayne Rooney, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Teddy Sheringham, Andy Cole, Louis Saha. The list does go on. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, obviously, in his short spell. Romelu Lukaku didn't quite work out, but we've had names that, are proven on that European global scale. And Manchester United need that right now, because last year we tried relying on a young Rasmus Højlund who come in from Atalanta, and it just hasn't worked. It's big boots to fill when you come to Manchester United compared to playing at Atalanta. So the reports are, people, Manchester United have direct talks with Aston Villa regarding Ollie Watkins. Aston Villa reiterate that he's not for sale and it will take a big offer to start formal negotiations. Well, the first thing people are going to think of is, how much is that big offer? Well, I think the truth is everyone knows that they're going to probably be looking for around 55, 60 million. If I'm honest, I think they want 60 million, Aston Villa. 29 years of age, Ollie Watkins. They've let John Duran go to Saudi Arabia. Marcus Rashford has obviously joined Barcelona now. And you've got to look at it. John Duran was one of the players that was playing when Ollie Watkins was there, rotating, sometimes coming off the bench. And then when Marcus Rashford came in, as we know, Ollie Watkins was actually on the bench for a lot of them big games, especially in the Champions League and towards the end of the season. And you're kind of thinking, what's going on there? Because Ollie Watkins is a striker that is now the record goal scorer for Aston Villa in the Premier League, or all-time scorer. And then you've got a player on loan from Manchester United who isn't really a number 9. We've seen Manchester United play with Marcus Rashford up top, and look, personally, I don't like it. I'd rather him be on the wing, even though he's not as quick anymore. But he's not a number 9. He don't really hold up the ball. He doesn't really win duels. He doesn't link up play great. I just don't think Rashford's suited to play number 9. So the fact that Unai Emery played him over Watkins, who's Aston Villa's main man, it's really baffled me. And that kind of gives me hope that I think Ollie Watkins can leave the football club. And I think Manchester United should go all in to try and get Ollie Watkins. And the reason I say that, people, is, look, there's Benjamin Sesko out there who's highly linked to Newcastle now, but he's 22. Another player that could come in and really do well, but you still don't know what he's going to be like in the Premier League. He's come from Leipzig, big pressure again, like Højlund. I know he's more decorated than Højlund and more proven to a global scale, but you don't know. And can Manchester United afford to take that risk at 80 million plus? Newcastle can do that. If they get 120 million for Isak, they can do that. That's another conversation. But Manchester United, for me, the reason I like Ollie Watkins in the current climate, people, is because he's Premier League proven. And I've been big on this, and I can't just change my vote now and start changing my sayings. I've said that Manchester United need to go back to getting Premier League proven players. Now, whether you go and do that in the attack, you've got Mbeumo, Cunha, and Watkins, who are Premier League proven. That front three is exciting. That front three can score goals. That front three works hard. That should all of a sudden give goals to Manchester United, give an attacking base to Manchester United. Look, we are playing 1 game a week. 1 game a week, guys. No Europe. So players are Ollie Watkins. He's going to be 30 in December. Watkins is going to be 30 in December. Brian Mbeumo, obviously, in his prime at 26. Cunha the same, 26, 27. These guys are going to be fresh every week, raring to go, ready to go. Also being able to play to the maximum, which should be at least 75 minutes. 75 minutes we have to, and then you can make changes, altercations, and so forth. But Ollie Watkins comes in and he gives you instant goals, instant Premier League proof. Last year, 16 goals in 38 games, 8 assists. That's 24 goal contribution in 38 games. By the way, wasn't injured once. Didn't miss any Premier League games. Yes, he might have niggles. People have them niggles, right? 38 games he was involved in the Premier League last season. The year before that, 37. 19 goals, 13 assists, 32 goal contributions. The year before that, 37 games again, 15 goals, 6 assists, 21 goal contributions. The year before that, 35, 11 and 2, 37 games, 14 and 5. So the productivity has gone up each year, apart from last year, but which was still 24 goal contributions. You'll take that. And 19 goals the year before that. But he has played over 35 league games in the last 5 seasons. I'm sorry, that is astonishing. Because availability is your best ability. And for him to stay fit from 26, 25 up to 29 now and play that amount of games consistently as well, fair play to Ollie Watkins. And this is why I'm happy for Manchester United to go in for this player, because at the end of the day, he can come here and probably get a 3-year deal, right? He might want 4, but a 3-year deal. And if Ollie Watkins comes in now and you have him for 2 seasons while you rebuild the midfield and other areas, he allows Xerxes and Højlund just to get a bit of time if they stay at the club. And Mbeumo and Cunha, Premier League proven. Them 3 can cook. And you've got Xerxes and then Højlund potentially as an option. That gives you a bit more oomph, a bit more zip. And the thing is about Ollie Watkins as well is that he's 30 in December. So that means next season, he'll only be 31 in December of next season. For a striker that keeps himself fit and is mobile, that's not too bad. You can still get a good Ollie Watkins. Look, I know that he's not as quick anymore. And I feel like his game has hit a bit of a plateau. But maybe he needs a fresh scene. Maybe he needs to spark himself into life again. And coming to Manchester United, the biggest club in England, there's no better place to do that. And he's probably looking at this now thinking, this might be the opportunity for me to play for Manchester United Football Club. And I might not ever get this again. Look, and I'm not disrespecting Aston Villa here, but we've got to be real. He's been at Aston Villa a good few years. He's got them into the Champions League. He's played in the Champions League now. He might be thinking, okay, maybe is it time for me to move on? Because Unai Emery not opting to play him in some of them biggest games of the season last year. If I'm a player, that's quite telling for me, because I'm thinking, okay, well, you're going to value me now because you haven't got John Doan and Rashford. But really, you didn't value me when we needed me the most, I thought. I've done all this hard work for Villa. I've been consistent. I've been hard working. I played for the team and you didn't value me then. Maybe that has rubbed up the relationship a little bit. I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to think of it as Ollie Watkins. Or he might be like, okay, them players ain't here. Unai Emery and him have a chat and he's going to be going back to being the main man with Morgan Rogers behind him. I'm just trying to weigh it all up. But for me, if Manchester United come in with an offer and they come sniffing, this is the opportunity to go to a club that are trying to turn things around. They've signed attackers that you can play with. The Brentford connection. And Mbeumo was there. You was at Brentford as well. I think Manchester United need to test the waters with a bid for Ollie Watkins. They need to show that they're serious. But I wouldn't overpay. I don't want to be paying 60 million. That's what I am going to make clear. Do I want Ollie Watkins? Yes. Do I think he'll give us productivity and improvement for the next 2 years at least, and then we can potentially look at another forward? Yes. But I do not want to overpay. I'm not going in at 60 million. I think, personally, I don't know how long's left on his deal, But at his age, I think now if we could bid 45 million, that would be a good fair offer. 50 million, I think, yeah, cool, I'll pay that. But once you start going into the 55 and 60s, I'm a bit like, it doesn't sit that comfortable with me. But I'm not paying. I shouldn't be really moaning about it because I'm not paying. But I then think, how does it affect the rest of your budget moving forward? But I think 45 million would be great. I think 50 million would be a fair benchmark for Aston Villa and us. Aston Villa can go and reinvest that in a Nicholas Jackson or whoever they're linked to, Lois Openda from Leipzig or someone like that. And Manchester United have got a striker that they need who scores goals. Yes, he misses chances, but he's got a front three around him in terms of Bruno behind him, Cunha and Mbumo, Ahmad as well, that are going to give him chances and also can chip in. So it relieves the pressure a bit of Ollie Watkins. Because I'm not just signing Watkins because I want goals. Yes, I want goals. But I'm also thinking, how are you going to blend in with Mbumo and Cunha? And I think they all work so well together. They can all play number 9. Ollie Watkins can drift out on the left. Cunha can play on the left. Mbumo can play out on the right. He can play up top as well. So they can interchange. They can rotate. They can cause defenders chaos with their movement. And I just think it could be a brilliant lighty front three. A mixed race front three. Probably get trolled for that. But guys, I think this front three can work. I look at who he's going to be playing with and around. I look at his decorated achievements in terms of, goals, assists, his availability. And he's at a peak age now of 29, turning 30. Get 2 good years out of him. I think Man United need to be serious about it because there's not many other strikers right now I can look at and say, yeah, I would take Nicholas Jackson. No, I'll take Watkins over him. Benjamin Sesko is a bit of a toss-up because you're going for potential, whereas you've got someone who's proven. And I think we need the more proven side of it now. Gyökeres has obviously gone to Arsenal. Isak is not going to come to Manchester United. We can all dream, but we know that Liverpool is probably the likely destination. And Victor Osimhen's obviously gone to Galatasaray. So when you look at it, I don't want Dusan Vlahovic. He can stay away. Not good enough for me, personally. So, yeah, I think Ollie Watkins is the player that Manchester United need to go in for. I think this would be a good signing. And we need to make our intentions clear. Ollie, we want you to come to the football club. The ball's in your court. Do you want to leave Aston Villa or not? Tell them you want to leave if you want to come and show that you want to play for Man United, or we have to move on. And then Man United have got 4 weeks to scramble in the market. But, guys, I think this is a move that makes sense. I think he works well with the front three. I think he's proven. I think he gives us availability. He gives us goals and assists. He will miss chances, but who doesn't? But he works hard. He runs the channels. He's an all-round forward, and we need that right now. Man United need a lot. So I'm not going to turn my eye up at Ollie Watkins. Let's see what happens, people. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate all the new fans and people coming over to join the channel. And make sure you see me on the next video. Bless up.